You're welcome to God's presence, and on behalf of Jesus, the head of the church himself, and our Father Bishop J.B., I'd like to welcome us all to God's presence. And I believe tonight, God himself will reach you at the point of your needs in the name of Jesus Christ. We've been talking about engaging the power of love for exploits, part 3. Engaging the power of love for exploits. Engaging the power of love for exploits. Remember, we're in a church setting, and when we hear love, we talk about agape love. For someone who is not in church setting, might be saying that maybe just love. No, it's not just love. Agape love, the love of God, the love rooted in Jesus, the love that God has for mankind that made him to send Jesus to come and rescue mankind from destruction. That's what we're talking about. Engaging the power of love, that is the power of the love of God that can engender exploits. I'd like us to know tonight that the power of love is the power of God. The power of love is the power of God. So, if you want to talk about the power of God, we are invariably talking about the power of love. Because God is love. And I'd like you to know tonight that the love of God is the strength of God. The love of God is the strength of God. And I'll prove it to us from scriptures. The love of God is the strength of God because it has the capacity to carry anything. The love of God has the capacity to carry anything through. Ephesians chapter 3 verse 17, the Bible makes us understand that Christ may dwell in your heart by faith, that ye, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all saints what is the breadth, what is the length, what is the depth and the height. So the length of God has the capacity to carry. It's so wide that it can carry anything. It's so deep, it can carry anything. It's so long, it can carry. So the love of God is the strength of God. And to know the love of Christ, which passeth knowledge, that he might be filled with all the fullness of God. No matter the situation, for the sake of love, he will still intervene. No matter where you find yourself, no matter the challenge you're going through, no matter your stand, for the sake of love, it still shows up. John chapter 8 from verse 4. The Bible says, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken on adultery in the very act. Verse 5, now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? Verse 6, this they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But just stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground, and as though he had them not. Verse 7, so then they continued as he lifted up himself and said to them, he that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. Verse 10, and when Jesus lifted up himself, he saw none but the woman. He said it unto her, woman, where art thou thy accused? As no man condemned thee? And she said, no man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. Jesus' love has the strength to absorb our iniquity. Even though it does not accept it, yet the love has the strength to embrace that woman in her state. The Bible says, when we were yet sinners, in the book of Ephesians, he still died for us. When we were stinking in sin, he still embraced us. Even though he hates the sin in us, but this love is so strong to still embrace us in our sin. The love of God is the strength of God. That's why if you are genuinely in love with God, you will love everybody. No matter what they do, no matter what it is, no matter the challenge, no matter what it is. Love is good as strength. The strength of God is being revealed through the love of God. Look at Exodus chapter 12, verse 29. And it came to pass that at midnight the Lord smote all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sat on his throne unto the firstborn of the captive that was in the dungeon, and all the firstborn of cattle. Verse 30. And Pharaoh rose up in the midnight, he and all the servants and all the Egyptians, and there was a great cry in Egypt, for there was not a house where there was not one dead. What happened? He said, otherwise I will kill your children. The love of God brought out the strength of God. If you don't let my son go, I will kill your people. The strength of God reveals the love of God. And that's why when you are a God lover, you are bound to do exploits. You are bound to do strange things. What eyes have not seen, nor ears heard. Somebody called me from UK. I shared it on the testimony on Monday at our prayer. She's been having excruciating pain on her legs 35 years. According to her, she's gone to different places. According to what she told me. And if somebody is in UK, you should expect the best of treatment. Now, somebody gave my number to her. Gave her my number, and she called. After we prayed, immediately the pain disappeared. She was so surprised. When you are a God lover, you are a carrier of God's power. When you are a God, genuine, not fake, not face. When you are a genuine God lover, you are a carrier of God's power. Power cannot be denied. Look at that precious Indian woman that just came now. According to her, he said within seconds. Within seconds. That is not, you cannot manipulate God's power. If it's there, it's there. If it's not there, it's not there. Testimonies every service is the proof of the power of God at work. If you see the picture of the one that brought by me, shared the testimony about, the woman also sent me the voice note and the picture. The baby was bandaged. Young baby that just delivered. Bandage on the face. Bandage on the face. When she sent me a voice note, she was singing. God turned my life around. The baby that would never imagine that probably she could come out. But by the power of God, through the prayer of the saints, there was a change. I pray tonight, every case that is hopeless, a restoration of hope. Every hopeless case is receiving a divine intervention. Every hopeless case is receiving a divine intervention. If you see that picture, you will never imagine that baby to survive. I'm telling you. I showed one or two of us. If you see the picture of the baby, you will never imagine that baby will survive. Imagine a newborn baby, bandage the eyes. Bandage, it was serious. But the love of God at work in you will always compel the power of God to flow through you. The love of God in you will always compel the power of God to flow through you. And that's why we're talking about engaging the power of love for exploits. Please take note that your passion for God will always raise you up to your portion in His kingdom. Your passion for God will always open you up to your portion in His kingdom. Your passion for God. John chapter 4 verse 34. John 4, Jesus said, my meat is to do the will of Him that sent me and to finish the work. To finish the work. My meat, that is my job. I have passion for this assignment. My passion for Him, my passion is to do the work He sent me and to finish it. And look at what became of him. Philippians 2 verse 9 and 10. Wherefore a name has been given to him, that in the name of Jesus every knee. So he possessed his portion because of his passion. He possessed his portion because of his passion. And that's why all through scriptures. And even till now, the exploit of Jesus is still resounding. Because of passion. You cannot be passionate for his kingdom and not be a partaker of his power. You cannot be passionate for the kingdom of God and not be a partaker of his power. Saints, hear this. You are where you are because your spiritual life is not growing. When your passion for God grows, you can't remain the same. The power of God in your spiritual life will cause your life to experience an expansion. It will break in left and the right. It will break it, cause an it will cause an earthquake. It will generate an eruption. Hear this. You cannot cage God. You can never cage God. The same way you can't cage air. Let me catch air. But understand, when you are passionate for God, God inside you. And the same way they can't cage God, nothing can cage your life. When you are passionate for God, you are practically inside God. So the same way God cannot be caged, the same way God cannot be limited, you can't be limited. You start exploit in the name of Jesus. From tonight, I decree the passion of God in us start growing in the name of Jesus Christ. In the midst of your passion for God, you receive divine direction, which is a major factor for outstanding exploits in life. In the midst of your passion for God, you receive divine direction. Divine direction. When you are passionate for God, it gives you direction, which is a major factor for outstanding exploits in life. Our father, Bishop David Oyedepo, his wife, which is our Mama Fedo Oyedepo, is the one of the greatest gifts he has in life. If not the great, apart from Jesus and spiritual gifts. Greatest gifts. Because to every successful man in ministry, a strong woman. To every successful man in ministry, there's a supporting wife. Where he is today is God plus a supporting wife. When I mean support, that allowed the rest in ministry. How did he get her? When she was in for souls. He was on his way to go and visit some friends in the park, and he saw, that's your wife. In the midst of passion, he possessed his portion. In the midst of passion, he received divine. That's your wife. That's your wife. That's your wife. You don't know what you are losing not serving God. You don't know what you are losing not being passionate for God. You don't know what you are losing not being addicted to the love of Jesus. You have been trying to make it done by yourself. You have been trying to make it by yourself. You have not got anything. Try this one. You get everything. You have been struggling to make money by yourself. You try this one. You get everything. In the midst of pursuing souls and pursuing kingdom, that's your wife. And that's how God gave me the same example. Same testimony. That's how God gave me the same testimony. That's how God gave me the same testimony. Somebody was telling me, that he's planning to get married this year and he's already working out. Do you know how he got his wife? When he was in campus fellowship, pursuing kingdom, pursuing souls. And not only that, he was doing drama, shooting films and everything. Now, you know what happened? He told me that that's his wife. That was around years back. I said, how do you know? He said, God told me. I said, okay. Now, the lady wandered away. He told me, he said, she's coming back. That is too convenient. The lady came back. When you are in God, you are in charge. The lady came back to submit by herself. It sounds funny, but you see, you can't serve God and make mistake. You can't serve God and enter error. You are too confident. If you look at it, I've shared 3 testimonies now on the same platform of service that brought right wife. Not on the platform of doing no, I don't like this one. No, I don't like this one. Let me try this one. You now try it again. You start from here before. You now start from here now. Who are you deceiving? But your kingdom service will guarantee a precise answer, a definite direction. You cannot be passionate for God You cannot be passionate for God and lose your passion with God. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 11. When Samuel went to the house of Jesse to look at the king to be anointed, Samuel said to Jesse, I hear all your children. And he said, there remain yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come either. Now, I'd like us to understand this. In the spiritual context, he keepeth the sheep. In the spiritual context, simply means he was God's servant, running after the kingdom. What they used to represent sheep in the scriptures are Jesus' children, members. The sheep, the souls. When you hear sheep in the kingdom, it's about souls. Now, in this context, he keepeth the sheep, which means he was a die-hard servant of God. He was pursuing the kingdom. He was pursuing souls. That's why, you see, seek him first. The throne came to meet him at home. He was serving in the forest. The throne located him at home. Exploit located him at home. Stop running after what should run after you. Stop running after what should run after you. He was forest, keeping the sheep, doing the kingdom advancement endeavors, praying for the kingdom, praying for souls, quote and unquote. They said, we will not sit down till you come. What an honor. He was the youngest. In fact, the father does not recognize him. He said, there's one boy there. He's just in the we are not sitting down. That just is a special one. That just is a unique one. Your kingdom service makes you to be unique. Your commitment to God and his cause makes you to be different. It brings you exploit without stress. Glory to God. I pray that the Lord will grant us understanding. But what is in love that engenders exploit? What is in love that unleashes exploit? What is in love that births exploits? I like us to know, number one is that everything that works in the kingdom works by love. Everything that works in the kingdom works by love. Romans 8:28. Romans 8:28. The Bible says, and we know that all things work together. All things work together for those who are lovers, to them that love him, and to those who walk according to his purpose. So when you are a God lover, I mean genuine God lover, sincere God lover, hearty God lover, committed God lover, dedicated God lover, tireless God lover, selfless God lover, all of it, because see, these adjectives I'm adding, they are the ones that proves if you actually love God. Selfless God lover, tireless God lover, committed God lover, addicted God lover. That is what proves your love. Because somebody say, I'm getting paying my tithes and nothing is happening. Check all these factors. Are you selfless? Are you tireless? Are you sacrificial? Are you committed? Are you doing it cheerfully? Are you doing these are factors. Because until you fulfill the law, even when you are not complete. All things work together for the good of those that love him and those that are called according to his purpose. So everything works in the kingdom by love. Stop hating people by your actions. There are things we do that shows a major hate or hatred. We don't know what is what before we conclude. It happened recently. I saw a post. Social media is good and it's bad, but those who doesn't use it well, it becomes bad for them. I saw a post somewhere that a particular person, his son, I don't know, seen it. His son his child was dying. He was in ICU, dying, and they now called a doctor to come and attend to the case. Of which, by the time the doctor came, the woman was shouting. So the doctor did not come on time or whatever. Doctor, why did you come late? Why did you come? I'm sorry. Why did you come late? Why did you come late? You came late. Why? Why? Blah, blah, blah. Doctor did not talk, but went straight to the theater, treated the child, and afterwards, the baby came back to life and was okay. Now, when the doctor was going, so the told the doctor, why do you behave like that? You can't even respond. He started blah, blah, blah. Doctor walked away, shook his head and walked away. Now, the patient now went to meet the nurse. But why is that the way he behaves? So rude. He can't even talk. His child is okay. Oh. Now, hear what the nurse said. The nurse said, you don't understand. His own son died. They called him from the funeral to come and attend to your own case for your own child to come back to life. From the story I heard, the woman's hands dropped. They called the doctor from his own son's funeral to come and rescue your own son that is dying. And you see how God to shout on him. That is the power of love. The doctor is so loving that he left his own to come and take care of your own. That is the mystery of Jesus. That's why if you are a lover, you are selfless. You don't remember yourself. You don't think of yourself. And that's why things will always work. That woman I said coming from UK, from London, coming around 1 a.m. thereabouts. 1 a.m. There are different testimonies I've received this week by God's grace. And some of them are night calls. But the question is this. I cannot be awake to pick a call and God will not answer the call. I cannot be awake to pick somebody's call that is dying. Look at the testimony of on Sunday. The man said his wife was already cold. And they called around 2 a.m. and we called, we prayed. Jesus heard. Hear this. If things must work in your life, love level. If things are not working, check your love level. Check the meter of your love. Maybe it's low or it has gone to extra. Your love meter determines if God will answer your desires. Because everything in the kingdom works. In fact, Galatians 5:6, the Bible says, faith which worketh by love. Faith, even faith is helpless without love. 1 Corinthians 13:1-3. Though I speak with the tongues of men and angels and have not charity, I have become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and I understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and I have no charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned and have no charity, it probably means nothing. So if you have all this and you lack love, you lack all. If you have faith, you claim to have faith, you claim to have knowledge, you claim to have no mysteries, and you lack love, you lack all. Love is the foundation of all. No foundation, nothing is in existence. So if anything must work in your life, your love life for God must be alive. Your love life for God must be alive. Your love life for God must be alive. I'd like us to understand here. Anything you do that lacks the love of God makes you a sinner. Anything you do that lacks the love of God makes you to be wanting. Anything I do that lacks the love of God makes me a sinner. Because anything you do that God is not present makes devil to be present. Let's think about that. When we walk in love, we command exploit without struggles. To walk in love makes you to be a commander of wonders. To walk in the love of God makes you to be a commander of wonders. Commander of wonders. Commander of wonders. A lover of command wonders. Jeremiah chapter 32 verse 17. Ah, Lord God, behold, thou hast made the heaven and the earth by thy great power and thy stretched arm. And there's nothing too hard for thee. There's nothing what you are going through right now, I'm saying God. Say big amen. Do you believe? Anything is possible with God. Even right now. Anything is possible with God. Anything is possible with God. You can get a job before you sleep tonight. Anything is possible with God. You can become a house owner in 24 hours. Anything is possible with God. Anything is possible. Whatever your mind can conceive in the world, the hand of God can deliver in the world. But it takes the love of God to move the hand of God. How? The love of God will inside you will always attract God. Your love for God will always move God. Psalm 24 verse 7. Lift up your heads, all ye gates, and be ye lift up doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty in battle. Lift up your head, all ye gates, even lift them up, all ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts is the King of glory. Now, to carry the love of God, to carry the King of glory. So at your appearance, everlasting doors will be lifted. At your appearance, doors will be lifted. At your appearance, every gate that is heavy will be lifted. And tonight, every everlasting door is lifted in the name of Jesus Christ. Is lifted in Jesus Christ. In the kingdom, compassion is a compelling force that guarantees the release of power for exploits. In the kingdom that we are, compassion is a compelling force that guarantees the release of power for exploits. Compassion is a compelling force that guarantees the release of power for exploits. Matthew chapter 20 verse 29. And as they departed from Jericho, a great multitude followed him. Verse 30. And behold, two blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard, cried out, saying, have mercy on us, O Lord, thou son of David. Verse 34. And Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes received sight, and they followed him. Immediately. Every time you exhibit compassion, you attract immediate heaven's attention. Every time you exhibit compassion, you attract heaven's immediate intervention. He stood and he touched, and immediately, compassion is God's nature. So when you exhibit the nature of God, you will command the wonders of God. When you exhibit God's nature, for God so loved, that so loved is a qualifier of compassion. For God so loved the world. 3:16 of John. For God so loved the world. So when you are compassionate, you will always attract the grace. Let's look at an example. Example of Paul, a selfless lover of Christ. He said in his word, Philippians 1:21, he said, for me to live is Christ, to die is gain. For me to live is Christ, to die is gain. That is, if I live is Christ, if I die I go to heaven. I'm just addicted. If I'm to be alive, I live for Christ. If I'm to be dead, I will be with Jesus. Whichever way, I'm lifeless. His life is over. In fact, in Galatians 2:20, he said, I live by the life of the faith of the Son of God. I'm crucified with Christ, yet nevertheless, I. You don't mean I'm crucified with Christ? Which means I die daily. 1 Corinthians 15:31. He said, I, Paul, I die daily. I die to things that makes people happy. I do things that give people pleasure. I die to things that is making people to lose their passion for God. I die to DSTV for scriptures. I die to African magic, to hearing God's word. Some people, they can work African magic from dusk to dawn, from morning to evening, from evening to morning. It's as if there's a magnet on their eyes that glues their eyes to African magic. In fact, some people's eyes is not like a remote. Once they open their eyes, it will change, because the station has known their eyes as a regular audience. That's how it looks so funny, but that's how some people are so addicted. They know all the programs on DSTV, but they can't quote one scripture. Even if they have to quote John 3:16, they will make mistake. For God so for God loved John 3:16, Jare. Simply because it is not there. But everything on DSTV, they can cram, they know everything. They can cram it and they even teach you DSTV. But Paul was a selfless lover. What others take as pleasure is what is dead to. And as a result, if you look at his life, look at what he said. Nothing can separate me from the love of God. Romans 8:35-38. Nothing could separate him from the love of God. There are some people here, if they get 10,000, they may not come for midweek service again. If they get 50,000 rand, when they come for Sunday service, they will do half and go. If they get 100,000 rand, they will forget the Sunday service. God knows our hearts. He knows it. He knows it. He knows it. There was a time somebody sent me 100,000 rand that I should help him do something with it. I never even remember the money is in my account until I transfer it to his account. I never for once. My mind is sealed that I can't even remember it. Some people, they will take the money and run away. 100,000 times 25, that's 2.5 million. They calculate, and you see, what you steal is not real. I placed on my Facebook to but what Pastor Nature said in his write-up. What you steal is not real. I'm telling you, anything you steal is not real, and whatever is not real will not last. Whatever you steal is not real, and whatever is not real will not last. So if you keep stealing, you are fake life. It will soon fail. God will have mercy. See, quietness. Wow, that's interesting. Nothing could separate them from the love of God. Truth is very bitter, eh? Kai. Oh, wow. It looks like vegetable. He lived more than a conqueror. Not only that, Acts chapter 14:11. The Bible says it was being said concerning Paul that the gods are come down to us in the likeness of men. They almost worship Paul, simply because of his addiction to God. They almost worshipped him. Was a die-hard lover. He was a crazy lover. He loved God to the point whereby they said, the God that come down to us. In fact, Acts chapter 19, verse 14. They claim that Jesus I know, Paul I know. Jesus I know, Paul I know. I told myself some years ago that devil will regret, and I'm still saying it, he will regret that God ever created me, by virtue of how I will devastate his kingdom, which God is doing already. You must get to the point whereby your love for God cannot be covered. Your love for God becomes like a perfume. Anywhere you enter, you change the odor. Anywhere you enter, you change the atmosphere. Anywhere you enter, they know somebody has appeared. Not because on the show, because flow. Glory to God. He ended up becoming the most outstanding of the apostles of Christ in the Bible days. He became almost the greatest. That our brother Paul, our brother Peter, the kind of wisdom God gave him, that the things he teaches is difficult for us to understand. Paul came last. He started teaching revelation that even the apostles that ate with Jesus could not understand. He came last. Peter was saying it. I think in 2 Peter. He said, our brother, our brother, Apostle Peter. He said, the things that he teaches, they are difficult to comprehend, to be understood, simply because of the level of his love for God. Mention his name, and in book of Second Peter. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah, 2 Peter 3:16. He says, and also in all his epistles, talking about Paul, speaking of them of these things, in which some of these things had to be understood. Let's start from verse 15. From verse 15. 2 Peter 3:15. And an account that the long suffering of our Lord is even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given unto him, had written unto you. Verse 16 now. That as also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, are unlearned and unstable, rest, as they do also the other scripture unto their own destruction. Paul was speaking above their head by virtue of his passion for God. He grew to the point whereby Peter that was with Jesus for 3.5 years, could not understand it, could not explain him. He became a riddle. He became a mystery in the midst of those who have been with Jesus for 3.5 years. They could not understand him. In fact, he wrote 2/3 of the New Testament. Peter only wrote 2. Oh, God will always make you to outshine those you met on ground. Your love for God will always, see, in the kingdom, we are all believers, but we are at different levels. We all carry Bible, but different dimensions. That's why the exploit we command are different. I heard some pastors doing some things in 2017. Some pastors were trying to fight me in this environment. That when they come, blah, blah, stories. You can't fight a God lover. You are fighting God invariably. When you are a God lover, you must outshine others. If you are a genuine God lover, you must outshine others. It's a must. You don't have to pray it. It comes automatically. As a God lover, outshining others is automatic. Because the love of God in you becomes the sun inside you. And you can't cover the sun. So the brighter you shine. The deeper your love, the brighter you shine. I pray that tonight the Lord will give us a fresh desire, an insatiable desire to become a lover of God. Shout a better amen.